Um, people think that people think that I operate off of adrenaline because I always ride my bike like I have to pee really badly. They're like, "Yo, why are you in such a rush, dude? Like, where are you going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm on my way to apologize to everyone that had to hang out with me during my early 20s. A lot of people I have to make amends to." I gave up on my jawline workouts because the only thing that attractive people are good at is fake laughing. You know, they'll be in Hollywood like, "Wow, you really thought that was funny?" And I'd be like, every time I hear myself laugh, I'm reminded of how long life takes. I only respond to political questions with abstract noises because I still believe that smiling will get me out of any bad situation. They're like, "Yo, your plan is to smile your way out of poverty?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to open up a serotonin store in my neighborhood, get them sales up, I play patty cake with professional tic-tac-toe players because I owe myself a cancellation on a camping trip." They're like, "Yo, you'd rather play patty cake than go to Wisconsin with us?" I'm like, yeah, because it's an easier way to predict what other people are thinking. I throw tantrums in phone booths because I was told that I'm unrecognizable when I'm angry. They're like, "Oh, okay, so you're trying to be a superhero now." I'm like, mood swings are just identity changes. When you think about it, right? I made all of my smoothies by hand because I get embarrassed too often to not constantly try to distract myself. They're like, I think you're just avoiding processing some things, And I'm like, "Hey man, if my 20s were rough, I don't want to know about it until I'm in my 30s. I tried to be interested in everything because I was under the impression that there was a lot more magic in this life. My friend was like, "So a spork is like a fork and a spoon put together. Isn't that insane?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm only pretending to care because I'm trying to see if there's a quarter behind your ear." I bought tickets to see I bought tickets to see a house that was on sale because my biggest mistake was thinking that people felt bad for dumb people. I'm like, "Yo, like how much did their tickets cost to be able to get like 5 feet from the master bedroom? Like, it's a really good view." They're like, "Wait, you bought tickets to an open house?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, how did you invent and become the first victim of a brand new scam?" I've been apologizing to people a lot lately because sometimes I just like to admire my middle finger. They're like, "Yo, your middle finger is showing like a very ugly side of yourself." I'm like, "Hey, all right. Well, my celebrity crushes taught me that there's no such thing as ugly." I still bathe with rubber duckies because I'm a fan of the tushiness. They're like, "Yo, so do you get free rubber ducks because you work in the industry?" I'm like, "Well, prices went up because my boss got scammed on vacation. So, not really, I tried to be an astronaut because I wanted to try out the freeze-dried version of a studio apartment. They'd be like, how is it like living in a crammed space with 4 other people?" I'm like, "It's not that bad. It would be better if Marcus hadn't picked up playing the flute. I think it'd make everyone's experience better." Okay. My mentor didn't help somebody in a wheelchair because he doesn't like it when people call him by the color of his clothes. They were like, "Hey, blue shirt, can you help me get up these stairs?" My mentor was like, "No." I'm like, "Yo, wait, what happened to empathy?" It's wild to have to teach my teacher what my teacher taught me. I make people scratch their head a lot because talking to me feels like high stakes gambling. They'll be like, yo, you are like a really, really sensitive person. And then I'm like, well, now I'm going to go from talking to you once a month to once a month. I don't want to be famous because my high school crushes weren't meant to see this version of myself. They're like, wait, so you don't want them to see you doing well? I'm like, no, because buying luxury items feels like being robbed without the violence. It's embarrassing. I know that I'm getting old because I'm trying to prove how smart I am too much these days. They'll be like, yo, why are you so well read on the architectural importance of a Victorian door shape? I'm like, hey man, I'm just putting on the finishing touches of who I am. I only talk about how people have hurt my feelings because I still have the same social habits that I had in high school. They're like, hey, do you want to join Dave and I for lunch today? I'm like, nah, I don't like Dave because he said I have heavy armpits. I think beef is my favorite thing because cow is short for coward. They're like, no, my fingers would cry if I ever applauded for that foolishness. I'm like, hey man, don't look at me. I'm not the man that sold out the culture. I use the windowsill handle as a cup because like the hole is perfect size for wheatgrass shots. And then someone's like, when you take into account the germ to nutrient ratio of the windowsill, the consequences far outweigh the benefits. I'm like, man, dang, man. I knew that people would think eyebrows were good at math. I knew that the comic book store owner used to be a radio personality because one time he sneezed so loud it broke my addiction to my phone. He's like, you don't think I'm obnoxious, do you? I'm like, look, every noise that comes out of your mouth feels like it's trying to take something away from me. I never want to move out of my neighborhood because I have a really high quality pizza man. I'll be like, man, you're such a refreshing thing to have around this town. He's like, why? I'm like, well, because I'm 3 years clean of being a fraud. So it's nice. It's nice to see someone straightforward, you know what I'm saying? I only speak in unfulfilled promises because the elephant in the room is my favorite animal. They're like, yo, why do you lie so much? Are you even successful at selling these lies? I'm like, well, success is pretty random, but excellence isn't. And I have a high quality standard I'm trying to keep up. Make sure my lies are up top, the toppest of notches. I ruined my I ruined my rooftop workout because I was thinking about how I can help out my coworker in ways that he doesn't need. I'm like, hey, I cut extra holes in your shirt to make it easier for you, given, your situation. He's like, what situation? I didn't need you to do that. I was like, really? Huh. I could have swore you had a Siamese twin. I gave myself a concussion because I was hoping it would make me forget that my head was itching. They're like, yo, did it work? I'm like, no, but it did help me remember the first time that I forgot something. So, for whatever that's worth. My sicknesses have stage fright when my doctor is around because I don't know why his practice is set up in the shopping mall. And he's like, so you have what we call leukocytoclastic vasculitis. I'm like, yeah. As a kid, I was really good at making up words too. Maybe I can get into this profession. I just gotta, get back in shape, start making up words, Yeah, I could do a job.